welcome to Life with Amity Chick. And this is my fifth video, and in celebration of my fifth video for being consistent on this platform, even though I'm a newbie, I'm going to share 20 random facts about me. And honestly, it's not that random if you really know me or you're in my circle. But so let's get into it. So, my name is Amuche Veronica. And Amuche means who knows the mind of God. Actually, people will say Amuche Chukwu. And honestly, there's a story behind my name. The story or the legend has it that I am the fifth child out of seven children. I am also the fourth girl. From all I know was that my parents were in search for another boy. We already had a boy, but it wasn't enough. They wanted another boy. And when I came out, another girl, as the fourth girl, they named me Amuche Chukwu, who knows the mind of God. And then shortly after me, 3 years later, my younger brother came along, and his name is Nemezu, which means God has completed it for us. So that's just the story about my name. That's it.
Number two, parenting is very hard for me. And
And honestly, here's my reason why. I have come to realize that how I feel about parenting, it's about being able to accept the incongruity, which is it's this radical notion that two opposing ideas can exist. I could love my children to the end of the world.
but at the same time, the day-to-day mothering is tough and I don't like that part so much.
I know it's a phase where I am right now and how old my kids are. They're going to grow out of it. But right now, I'm not loving it. I read my sister's article. Her kids are all teenagers. And she says that that stage of parenting is the best. And so I'll see when I get. Random fact three. I am yet to change my last name to my husband's last name. And honestly, a major reason is I don't see how that adds any value to my life or his life. It doesn't make sense to me that I have had my last name for so long, and after one day they pronounce me man and wife, I'm supposedly supposed to adopt another last name, go through hoops and hell to change my documents, to take on a different last name. It doesn't make sense. And I know some Christians are gonna come and say, oh, wives should submit to their husband, and it's a sign of respect, and the Bible says, and two shall become one. Well, in that analogy, if two shall become one, how come we're not adopting a last name that we both like and we both choose? Why should I take his? I mean, or why is he not taking mine? I mean, where does it say that I must take his? Where is that law written? He could take mine, or we could choose a new last name that makes sense to both of us. But for me, I don't see why I need to go through hoops to change my name, to change my last name, that honestly, it's not going to change anything. He's not going to love me less. It's not going to make me love him less or love him more that I took his last name. And that's just how I feel. He understands that. And honestly, there are tax purposes on why you shouldn't change your last name. But anyway, you could message me about that to know more. But don't get it twisted. I don't know. In another 10 years, I may feel different about it, and I may change it. But for now, not adding any value. I don't understand it, and I'm not doing it. 4, I hate the beach. I hate all the sand. People are like, oh, I love the beach. It's so relaxing. It's so lovely. It's this, is that. First of all, I don't know how to swim. There's nothing appealing about being close to a body of water that my feet cannot touch the bottom. So, and all that salt and all that sand and being in the hot sun, pretending you're enjoying some book to the sound of the ocean. Please. There is nothing fun about that. The beach is overrated. Yes, I said it. Come and beat me. Number five, when I was younger, I cried for food. Like if people ate something when I wasn't there, if you gave someone something and you did not give me, or I come home from school and food wasn't ready, I just be crying. Now I'm all grown, I don't cry, but my feelings still get hurt. For example, if my colleagues or coworkers had free food and I hear about it and I wasn't at work that day, my feelings are hurt. Trust me, I have told them things like, please keep mine, please order mine, please put mine in the fridge because I don't like my feelings getting hurt. Food hurts. Number six, my teenage years were definitely rough. I didn't have it. It was a very challenging, tough time. And I ain't going to go into details, but I could say that my experiences and the things that I faced, the burdens that I had then, is what shaped me into who I am today. It made me not to, like, I don't tolerate stuff. It made me bold. It made me almost very, people would say that I am very blunt, even though I'm becoming better in that. Like, I just don't tolerate a whole lot of things because I am built very different. Number seven, I'm very passionate. Like sometimes when I try to make a point or try to get my point across, I speak with so much authority, with so much, sometimes people feel like I'm scolding them. And other times I'm so passionate about what I'm talking about that I cry, I shed tears. And it's not just because I'm crying, it's just what I'm talking about. I want it to make so much sense. I want people to hear me. And it brings me to tears. So yeah, when I'm passionate, I cry. Number nine, a lot of people, like I said, see me tough, like they just think things don't get to me. But honestly, I feel things very easily. Like things would hurt me, and in as much as you think I have this tough exterior, it still gets to me regardless. And so just think about it the next time you look at me as this tough person with a tough character, a tough personality. I do feel things and I am also emotional. When it comes to my family, I think I took on my mother's character. I don't necessarily think I look like her, even though some people here in America said, oh, you look like your mom so much. I don't see it. Growing up, they did say I look like my dad, even though I also don't see it now. But I have my mother's character, and we are so much alike that I don't even think sometimes she realizes it. But we are very much alike, mama. And for one, my mother is one lecha, like very big one lecha. And I myself is one lecha 2.0 with a little bit of Toza Queen. Now, some of you are going to ask, who or what is a Toza Queen? A Toza Queen is a queen that tozas. I am a big Harry Potter fan. I grew up with Harry Potter. I love the stories. I have read each Harry Potter book over 5 times. All 7 books, those 800-page books, I have read them more than 5 times. I've also seen all the movies multiple times. This is a crazy story. I was reading The Chamber of Secrets, which is the second book, back then in Nigeria. I was so into this book that I took this book to church, and we were in mass. I used the bulletin to cover the back and pretended that I was reading the Bible. Meanwhile, I was reading The Chamber of Secrets in church. That is how much Harry Potter, that is how much I was into Harry Potter. It hasn't all gone away. I am still a big Potterhead, and I have gone to Universal Studios. I am planning to go to the Harry Potter World or store that had just opened in New York. I believe all my kids are going to read Harry Potter book. Another random fact, I met my husband on LinkedIn, and I shot my shot. I know these days people are like, oh, shoot your shot. I shot my shot before shoot your shot become a thing. You feel me? I'm always trying to live a healthy lifestyle. I'm always trying to work out, eat healthy. But honestly, I don't enjoy working out. I see people talking about the rush, the endorphins you feel after working out. I don't feel anything. Workout is pain. The self-motivation is very hard. But I'm a go-getter and I go for things. And I do the workout. I didn't enjoy it. I have never enjoyed a workout. Never. Never, ever, ever. Every workout is a pain. I know you see me doing it, you think, oh, she must really enjoy this. Nope, I don't like it, but I have to do it because that's just who I am. I wanted to be a baker growing up. My mom was a home economics, home management teacher. She was really good at baking, making clothes. I don't know, she was really, really good. And she baked cakes even as a business. And I just really enjoyed licking the cake batter when she puts them all in the tins. I loved helping out. I really wanted that as a career because I love licking the cake batter. And I wanted to be a baker when I grew up until the Nigerian parents and them were like, what do you mean you're gonna be a baker? And that's how that dream ended. This one isn't even a fact. I love my husband though. I love my children though. I love them very, very much. This is not a fact, but it's more like a statement. I lived in New York City for 8 years. I went to Hunter College for my undergraduate, and I also got my doctorate there. And in those years of living in New York City, the random fact here is that I memorized all the subway lines. I know all the lines, A, B train, C train, D train, E train, F train, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, S shuttle. I knew all of that. I could also tell you where each train originates from and where it ends. I could tell you that the 6 train's last stop in the Bronx is Pelham Bay Park, and the last stop in Manhattan is Brooklyn Bridge City Hall. I mean, you can't test me on that now. I haven't lived in New York. I left New York City in 2016, so I love history. I love history. I love reading about it. I love watching movies about it. I love watching periodic dramas revolving around history and historical events. I just love everything. Recently, I went to Berlin, and honestly, World War II and the events surrounding World War II are my best moments in history. I grew up, my father telling me stories about the dropping of the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I mean, I knew that before I even learned about Hitler. I mean, that's how my love for history came about. And when I went to Berlin, I felt like I was living every history lover's dream. I loved every bit of my tour in Berlin, and that's just how much I love history. You guys are even not going to expect this. Very random. I dated a rabbi, and when I meant I dated a rabbi, he was Hasidic Jew with the yarmulke on top, with the curly hair on the sides, with the long beard. Very random. Sometimes I bite my nails. That's not good. That's not hygienic. I just bite my nails. And lastly, I am never late. I am always on time. People that know me knows that Amuche is always on time. And with that said, I'm going to wrap this video up. These are 20 random facts about me. Now hold up. There's a plot twist. Which of these random facts is untrue? See you in the comments. I would like to know what you guys think of which of the facts I told you guys. One of them may or may not be true. All right, thanks for watching.